I've claimed in many older videos that Tilray's revenue has long been on the decline due to poor product quality, and that trend would continue unless drastic improvements were made. Well, it appears as though that has happened. Starting in late September, early October of this year, bud tenders began telling me that the Good Supply brand began offering flower with above 30% THC, as well as being fresher and better cured. I was skeptical, but I gave them a try. I found that they had indeed improved, going from what I would say is a 7, 7.5 out of 10 to an 8, 8.5, which is pretty significant and means that they now offer high value at a pretty low price. Their OS and Readycan brands have made similar improvements, so whatever happened, most of their brands went from offering cheap garbage to offering pretty reasonable quality at a very reasonable price, which tends to be a winning formula. But looking at their latest earnings report, profitability still seems rather distant. Their gross margin isn't bad at 25%, but their operating costs quickly eat it and leave them with a nearly $12 million hole. And that's not including transaction costs, litigation costs, or restructuring costs, which total another $11.4 million, but maybe one-offs or not. I don't know what they are exactly, so we can exclude them for now. But they also have a $9.8 million interest expense, and given their debt load, that nearly $10 million a quarter will likely be coming off for a while, and maybe even grow, meaning they're losing over $20 million a quarter. As a result of their improvements, bud tenders tell me that their brands seem to be selling better these days, but they have a long way to go before they become profitable. Their greatest competitor, on the other hand, is currently making a few million a quarter, including their interest expense and everything, with gross margin consistently above 40% and even above 50% in recent quarters. And they have a tiny valuation of about 50-60 million, as nobody knows about them, which isn't financial advice, but given that they've been ahead of the curve for years and have never been rewarded for it, rather than being in the early phases of a turnaround that's already somewhat priced in, there may be better value in the market outside of Tilray.